do it to me wouldn't hurt there or wouldn't stop me from breathing today.
Right.
But back then could have.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's a matter of, I'm not understanding, did I shove her with, I'm pissed off and things like that? No. I mean, it was not that. And I was concerned about her. Not, when she's out, I'm going to give her one shot here just for the fun of it. It was not that at all. I was going to just, to be clear.
I get pissed off. We all do. Oh God, it happens. Okay, it's not intentional. It happens all the time. You get frustrated and all that. You got a lot going for you. A lot of things going on. You got, kids got to go to school, breakfast, food, all that. And it's like I can remember trying to fix something. And finally, after it should have taken you 5 minutes to fix it, it's an hour later, you say, fuck it, Bam. I've been there, I've happened it. I did that more when I was younger. I don't do it at all that much anymore, but you get with so much going on and the pressures, your marriage hasn't been good, okay? And then you just bless it, not that you meant to do it, but it happened.
Not with any degree of animosity. I may not have been gentle in terms of pushing her back.
Uh-huh.
I may not have, but not, I didn't lash out, I didn't strike her, I did nothing like that.
And how do we explain that to Beniki in the lungs? How do we explain that in the... Well, you read it. I don't have to tell you. You saw it.
I can't, unless she rolled over too far at one point.
Yeah, but that wouldn't do a fingernail.
Well, is the fingernail like she's choked?
Well, let's read it in your account.
Do you recall having your hand by her throat, maybe somehow when you rolled her, just having your hand there, maybe to support your head?
That's the only thing I can think
Something
of.
along those lines? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Is that possible that you had your hand right there?
Well, you could have had the hand over here at a knockdown. Absolutely. And this is abrasion resembling a fingernail is present on the right interior neck. Okay? So you did have your hand up over there, so that would explain that.
Yeah, but I mean, could that even, what is that, superficial slightly,
And that's usually, after death, things turn a little yellow.
Okay.
That's normal.
I mean,
But the important thing here is finger, nail. As I had that underlined there. Okay. So that means you had your finger or thumb or something up there in that neck area.
that's entirely possible.
So, and how was your finger and all that there? Why would it be there?
Trying to move her, but what would be required to leave that mark? I mean,
What would be required?
well, what they're
How
seeing,
much pressure?
Yeah, what they're seeing is a mark like that.
Yeah. No, this would be if you look at the other word here, abrasion.
Abrasion.
So there's a slight breaking of the skin. Okay, abrasion, fingernail are the two key words here. So you had your hand up by that neck, and it had to be something that, it wasn't a mere tap. It was something that would cause an abrasion, is the description here, which means redness at minimum, if not breaking of the skin. Okay, and that takes a little bit more force than just, simple touching like that.
Unless I was trying to move her and I, slipped. I mean, I
Scratched her by slipping or something?
Yeah, but I've got no...
How would your hand, and I guess that's where I'm a little confused, do you remember grabbing onto her neck?
I may have like this.
Okay. And bringing her
But
over.
that would be the only thing, but that wouldn't be here. I mean, how that got there, I've got...
How do we explain the petechiae in the lungs then? I mean, there has to be some type of injury here to the chest and to the neck area, which I could see could almost combine. They're that close. Okay?
How do you think they got that?
I have no idea. I mean, yeah, the finger mark,
No, the lungs.
the only thing I can think of because I rolled her too far over.
Okay. So you rolled her too far over and then you pushed her back?
Right.
With on the chest and the neck area? I mean, either you did or you
Well,
didn't.
even after I pushed
Maybe.
her back, if I left her too. Silly me, Paul. Silly like.
You pushed her back, but you don't remember doing that. I had to do something,
I
Mark.
rolled her over, I pushed her back, moved her back somehow. I don't recall exactly how.
This was when you were sitting on the edge of the.
I remember, yeah, pushing on the upper torso, trying to move her head.
Mhm.
I remember reaching underneath her legs and moving her legs
Okay.
and hips back further up the bed. And then she moved and the leg fell off at some point in there. Put that back.
Put the leg back up on the bed.
Right. She had a tendency to roll forward onto her face.
We still have to explain the nose part, that head pushed into the pillow. How are we gonna explain that? I mean, that's there.
I mean, there was a furrow. Possibly another color. Made her robe and looks like some decorator pebbles were on the bed.
Something like that, Mark, it's not gonna leave, you know, she just rolls. Her nose was severely indented.
Something had to push it down. There's three things that happened here. Head being pushed, the nose, some type of contact here at the throat, and some type of contact here in the chest. Okay? We know that happened, okay? You were the only one there. You had to do something, Mark. And I don't believe it was on purpose, some type of frustration or anger, or maybe you were just frustrated. You had to do something. You had to do
I
something.
may not have been gentle, but that's the worst thing that I could say was I wasn't gentle
Well,
moving.
Yeah, there had to be some contact here, here, and here.
I did not.
How can we explain it, Mark? If you didn't, you're saying you did, but how else did that happen? We know that happened. Those are facts.
Okay.
Those are facts. Same as this letter. It's facts. This is, happened. Okay. This letter tells me you were not having a good relationship.
No.
She was trying to poison you, right? Right?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay. And
How do you know that she was trying to poison?
We had dinner and,
I mean,
I drank. She made me a drink, asked me how the drink was. It was a Bailey's. It was a Bailey's.
and because of the Baileys, you felt that she was trying to poison you?
And, yeah,
Why would you come to that assumption?
it was that and dinner. It was a number of things that happened in a 1 week period.
Okay, so she made you a drink and she made you dinner. Is this out of the norm? Is this out of the
Oh, no,
norm?
but she asked me how it tasted and Bailey's is Bailey's.
Was there ice in it?
No.
It was just straight Baileys and
So when
she
you
ate it?
throw it up 15 minutes later.
Okay, were you ill that week?
No.
If you thought she was trying to poison you, wouldn't you seek medical attention? Wouldn't you go to the
I
doctor?
didn't know. I didn't believe that.
Okay,
You
but
believe
you
it
just
now?
said, yeah, but you just
Yeah.
said now that she was trying to poison you. If you're getting poisoned, I mean, think about the end result here. You're gonna die, okay? Why would you not go seek some type of attention? Why would you not call Paul or myself? Hey, my wife is
I
trying
didn't
to
believe-
poison me.
I didn't believe we were that. Things were getting off. I mean, they were just off the wall with her in
Okay,
terms of where she was and what
all the more reason to let somebody know and call us.
I just think that's another life-threatening thing. You know, you believe your wife is trying to poison you because of a drink, because she asked how it was.
You question it after the fact, I mean, what's going on?
And then this happened a couple more times?
Yeah.
You said it happened at least 3 times.
Right, there was another time with dinner and things like that.
Yeah. And you didn't take any precautions. Now, she's obviously taking precautions because you're trying to poison hers where she's feeling. Okay?
Yeah, but
You didn't take any precautions?
She's not accepting drinks from you.
I didn't accept it from her either. I mean,
What type of problems were you having? Are you just having the sexual part of a problem of marriage, or is there something else there? Was there some financial? Was there something else?
it was
What type of problem are you having that both of you feel that each other is getting poisoned?
my perception of it was strictly her depression. That was it.
Okay, so your marital problems is based on depression. Did you guys seek treatment for that?
She wouldn't. She wouldn't.
Well, you weren't happy about it, so you were also depressed about it.
Oh, it affects every aspect of your life.
Right, exactly.
This is the reason I started writing things down in there, and we had to talk about it at length and detail.
On some of her actions is what that is. What does the syringe have to do with it?
Yeah, it was things I found around the house.
Okay, the syringe. The syringe still there? Where'd you find the syringe?
It was a razor blade, there was a bottle of something
Where did you find these?
in the dry bar, in the bedroom, locked up in the lower cabinet.
Okay, did you question the syringe? Did you ask her what the syringe was for?
Was it there when she passed away?
Everything was cleaned out of there, you know,
Before she passed away?
after she passed.
After she passed away. So it wasn't there when she was? Where
I
put it?
I don't know, I remember going through the.
Why would she have a syringe?
No idea.
She's not diabetic or
Did you
anything
ask
like
her?
that? No?
You had to ask her, that's why you wrote it down, because you asked her about it. And she knows you wrote about it, and she says she had no idea what that was about. It's in her letter. So that can't be true, Mark.
I don't recall asking about that, I remember just
Well,
writing
yeah.
down what I
Okay.
had seen.
And she thought you were the one with the syringe. Okay? She spoke with Officer Cosman about this. She gave Officer Cosman the film of the photos of that. And she was suspicious of it, so why would it be, it can't be her syringe. You wrote it down, and she could not explain it, so if you rule out that it wasn't hers, then of course the question comes back is whether it was yours, which she thought it was. Why would she say that? Where's the point?
I don't know.
Where's the point, Mark? We got more unanswered questions here than we have answered ones.
Right.
Your
And
wife,
you're in a position here to answer them, Mark, and I need you to here.
your wife is going through precautions because she thinks you
I'm trying to
are
think about
trying to harm her.
She calls the police.
She calls the police. Okay, she talks to Officer Cosman. She says, if something happens to me, I didn't do it. Okay? This happens, 2-3 weeks prior to her death? People do not do this. There is a reason for this. Why is she so scared that you're gonna kill her? Okay? People don't come beating down our doors every day to say, hey, my husband's gonna kill me, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, that person is dead. There's a letter left at the neighbor's house along with a roll of film. Okay? You're writing things down in your journal that are odd.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That is very odd. Okay, some of the things that are written in your journal.
Keeping track of her mindset, man.
Yeah, I think that's odd. Why?
I'm the syringe, Mark. Is that normal? I go show you my daily, anybody here, anybody at your office, they have a syringe written down there?
Yeah.
Wow, Mark, no, of course not.
No.
Of course not. It's a strange situation, Mark.
It is. No.
And you're the one that was there, and you're the one that can explain it. We know what the facts are. I've laid all the cards out on the table here, Mark. There has to be an explanation, and there's something you're not telling me here today. There has to be, Mark. And I don't know why you can't trust me and tell me. what went on truthfully. You need to clear the air. Set Julie in peace, Mark. Mark, set her in peace. She knows what happened. Are you Catholic? What are you? Lutheran. Okay.
Are you
Set
devoted?
her in peace.
Devoted Muslim?
Don't go to church all the time, but definitely believe.
You believe in God?
Absolutely.
Have you noticed Julie's presence around the house yet?
No, don't get after that.
Maybe she doesn't want to be.
You need to put her at rest. She knows what happened. What you don't want to tell me, she knows. She knows. Put her, rest her soul. Mark, rest her soul. You need to rest her soul. You guys are married for several years. You have 2 children together. She needs to live in peace. Something happened, Mark. She knows it. You know it. I almost can feel her saying, rest me in peace. Clear the air, Mark. Rest in peace. Put me in peace. Rest me. I can feel her. You can. I know you can. I can see the look in your eyes. You're fighting it. There's something that went on here that you're not telling me. Leave Julie. Rest her in peace. Mark, Mark, there's no spinning about it. There's something that took place here, Mark. You need to tell me. You need to put Julie. You need to rest her soul. She won't be rested until you rest it here. There's something that went on, Mark. She's a witness to it. You are too. She needs you to clear the air on this. You need to rest her soul. Mark, what happened there? She wants you to clear the air. She wants to be rested. Don't say no, Mark. There is something. Mark, there's something. There's something. There's something, Mark. Don't fight it anymore. I can feel her. I can feel her. There's something that went on here. She knows it. She knew it before she died. She's with the God right now. There's something that went on here. She knew it before she died. She knew she was going to die, Mark. Read this letter. Think about it. You can feel it. Something took place there, Mark. Rest her. Something took place. Stop fighting it, Mark. We've been sitting here and you've been wanting to tell me. I can feel it, Mark. I can feel it. I can tell with her eye contact. You nod your head in agreement. You want to tell me. You want to tell me. Julie's pushing you to tell me. Tell me, Mark. Tell me. Let it out.
It's not going to make any sense.
Well, tell it, Mark, be truthful, honest, let it out. Let it flow out. Tell me, Mark. Let it out. Release it. Tell me. Tell me what happened. Release it. Mark.
This is not going to answer your question.
Tell me, just run with it, Mark.
This stuff, because I can't explain it myself.
Go, Mark. Tell me what you want to tell me.
Wednesday night, she specifically asked me not to call anybody. But she made me promise her. She couldn't get out of bed. She heard me talk. I understand what you're saying here, but there's more to it than just this.
I know what you're saying. Tell me everything, Mark.
I don't know myself. I know what the conversation we had. I was ready to call the ambulance. She made me promise not to. By Thursday morning, she was bad enough off. I should have. I mean, the raspiness of breathing or things like that, that's not pointing at it was. She could hardly breathe. I thought she wanted to just check out.
Did you leave her die? Do you think that's what she wanted?
I think that's what I did.
Is this the truth, Mark?
She didn't want help, and I just,
You let her die?
I think I just let her die.
Should you have called the ambulance? Do you feel you should have called it? Maybe she wanted that.
The phone was right there. She could have done it at any time. I put the phone right there.
But you should have called the ambulance and you didn't?
I should have. In hindsight, because Wednesday night, Thursday night when I got back, I mean, I was adamant with everybody in the office, you know, I go up the night, she's not better than that, I can't think anymore of her call from this. That would have been the end of our relationship. As bad as it was, and then I called the hospital.
Do you feel you're responsible for her death?
Yeah, to some degree. Whether or not I, you know.
She was that sick, she hadn't been out of bed?
Yeah.
That week?
And she did not want help.
100%, Mark, keep it flowing here. Let's get this cleared out and get it over with.
She did not want any help. She
And
told
you
me,
let her die.
she said, yeah.
She made you promise not to call the ambulance specifically?
Specifically, she said, I know you and the boys will be fine. You love them, and take good care of them. Your parents will help.
You just let her die? Are you hoping that she died?
No, I didn't hope that I didn't hope that she was. I mean, he tried to quantify what's going on. It's just straight downhill. That's why I don't understand this. Because it's totally in the face of everything that I did nothing to hurt her, but I did nothing to help either.
Nothing to hurt her, but she did nothing to help. You think she wanted to die? Why?
She was so depressed. She saw things in a completely different way. I mean, completely different. I was, the last 7 years, I mean, this is why all this stuff, it doesn't interest us, but as a guy, how do you stand there and have something like that thrown back at you constantly for years and years and years?
With the relationship with parents?
That's a shitty thing to have to swallow all the time.
I agree.
I mean, you know.
There was some sexual problem.
Yeah, so you kept trying, you know.
When did she make the promise that she wouldn't take any action to save her life?
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night? What did she exactly say Wednesday night?
No matter what happens, they're going to promise me I can call somebody.
Meaning what?
The hospital. She says, I don't want to be put into a rubber room with my mother or my brother.
This was Wednesday night? Wednesday night. And she slept through Wednesday night, you made her that promise that you'd call.
She took the sleeping pill, I promised that I would.
She wouldn't get her any help.
Right.
Was she starving too, or not eating well?
She didn't eat for a week, Paul.
She didn't eat for a week.
So,
I noticed some water and some macaroni and cheese.
I was doing the cooking, I mean, that's the extent of what I could do at the time. You know, macaroni and cheese made for time.
And then she woke up Thursday morning? What happened?
Worse. I should have called.
Her breathing? Demonstrate for me how bad her breathing was. Pretty bad? I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, like she was suffocating?
Exactly. They even picked up on that. They went, wow, you know, I'm going to say, oh, wow, that's really bad. And I'm like, no, get out of here. Got on the bus. So, she couldn't talk. She couldn't talk. She couldn't even move.
And you didn't do anything at that point?
I guess she wanted to. And she made this grumble, voice sound. No, I mean, she was adamant about her becoming agitated.
How close to death do you think she was at that point?
I don't know.
Did you respect when you came back from work to find her passed on?
I had the much respect. Everybody.
She wanted to die and you let her die? Is that a summary of pretty much what happened here?
They said that I did nothing to hurt her, but I remember she was breathing when I left.
Did you really move her or no?
Is there, you said,
you made that up?
No, honestly, God, I told you nothing that wasn't truthful. And,
Yeah, I don't know about
I don't want her.
You know something I don't believe real offhand? Is that poison thing. She's really trying to get you think?
There was a question of my mind at one point, honestly, God. I mean,
That's fair.
That's the reason, you're right. If you think you are, you pursue it.
How did she ask you to die? She said what?
She said she didn't have guts to commit suicide the way her brother did. She wouldn't have the guts to split her wrist.
And she asked you again for not calling somebody, you took that to mean is not call a rescue squad?
Right, she did not want any help.
Not any help whatsoever.
No.
You agreed to that. You didn't want to get her any help. But you went to Dr. Morgan's office.
I agreed to, this is Wednesday night after I saw Corbin.
Okay.
I saw Corbin Wednesday morning.
Okay.
I agreed to it, I didn't know if I could.
Go through with it?
Go through with it.
Well, you did.
Honor that.
You did.
I didn't know if I had
You
it.
did.
I did. But how do you do it?
So you knew she was dying, you just let her
I
die.
didn't know why. I didn't know how.
Clear her soul out, Mark. Just come out. Tell me what happened and what you were feeling. Clear it out. Clear it all out, Mark. You need to do this. You're there. You're not all the way there. Put Julie in rest. Clear it out. Smooth it over. Mark, you're holding back something yet. I can feel it, but I feel you're being truthful with me.
It's just
Clear it out. She wanted to die?
She was.
Are those your words or mine? Those are your
Those
words.
are my words.
Okay.
She wanted to die. What I don't know is, well, I guess you got the answer now. What I've been thinking was, she'd take something else, or purposely trying to, or was it a combination of things that she realized what was happening and just didn't stop it?
Did she tell anybody else this, that she wanted to die and she was planning to die besides you? Did she tell her brother, neighbors, friends?
No, so, and that's why I was concerned about it with the aspirin and everything else. The reason I was keeping track of it all.
Let's flush this all out, Mark. Let's just flush it all out now. So you feel responsible for her death a little bit here, but you did it at her wishes. She wanted to die.
Right.
Did she tell you that?
She said she wanted to commit suicide.
She wanted to commit suicide. Okay.
She said she wouldn't have the guts to do it, or rather, slit her, which he slit his wrist.
She hasn't been eating.
And it for, as far as I know, a week.
You didn't do anything to help her eat or anything like
I
that?
came home and cooked, but she wouldn't eat. She had diarrhea. I mean, she was just totally empty.
She drinking a lot of water? Okay.
Like a fish. I mean, actually like a fish.
Water.
Big water glass.
That's suppressing her appetite or satisfying it, right?
Oh, I don't know, because I was at work up till Tuesday.
So she tells you she wants to die.
Tuesday and Wednesday, she had a huge thirst, and then Wednesday night and Thursday, it just stopped and was gone.
Did she tell you she wanted to die or she wanted to commit suicide?
She said she wanted to. She put it.
Let it flow out.
I I wanted that, I wouldn't have the guts to commit suicide the way my brother did.
Did she say specifically she wanted to die?
Yeah.
How did she say that? What were her words?
That was it.
Okay.
She said, and I know you'll be okay. You love the boys, you're gonna take good care of your folks, well, they're gonna help.
She told you not to call anybody? Yeah, well, what did you take that to mean?
Don't call anybody.
Meaning the rescue squad?
Right.
Or their parents, or?
Or take her to the hospital.
And this is Wednesday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was having.
And then she fell asleep?
She was having a very hard time. Thursday morning, she couldn't breathe. I mean, it sounded like she couldn't breathe.
How can I verify this? Talk to David?
Talk to David. He'll give you that. She couldn't move. She wasn't able to talk.
So Thursday morning, she slept through the night. She was so weak she couldn't talk. Right?
Right.
Okay.
On Thursday.
And because you promised her not to call anybody, I must have known that she was gonna die.
I didn't know what she was gonna do, but I gave her the day.
Okay.
In my mind, I was standing there.
Should have called the rescue squad, you think, that morning?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, at this point in my mind now, there's no question. When I got home that night, I was gonna call. I thought she was physically better. I remember Thursday morning, before I left for the office.
She couldn't talk?
She couldn't talk. She was on a sleeping pill. I mean, it was all she
Should have called the rescue squad?
Yeah, she should have. Absolutely. Well, there's no question in my mind, I should. Isn't it? I remember sitting there Thursday morning thinking, I don't know what to do here. You know, you want me to do this, looking at you like that. I don't know what to do. I went to the office. You know, you don't want somebody in that situation, like that, is it? I did nothing to help her.
No, I mean, as far as not calling a rescue squad, or just we can't help her to die.
It feels like it. That's my own personal health. Things are not good in backbone.
And your relationship wasn't good, we know that.
No, but
She wanted to go out this way, and you were gonna let her, right? I mean, is that?
that was kind of her call, I guess. I mean,
But then why the letter?
that's what I
You know what I mean? If she really wanted to die, why would she have left this letter?
We don't get, she was all over the place. I mean, one day she'd be antagonistic, the next day she'd find her in the bathroom on the floor, crying because she had her tubes tied after she had done it, now she couldn't have any more kids. I mean, it's the extremes. Everywhere.
Okay, so this is a product of that behavior, is that what you think? The extreme behavior?
Very extreme. She was all over the place. Friends would go to lunch with her and try to cheer her up. Cheering her up. Yeah. But this is like, you know, I never did anything to her. So, the stuff I was writing down, there was things I'd find her doing, behaviors, stuff like that. A little cryptic growth, you know.
Where'd the syringe come in?
But I don't know. I think I recall, like, you know, because all this was for me. I mean, you know, some of the stuff I can't even look through.
When you
I can't
stopped-
look through.
Thursday, is that Thursday that she passed away? Okay, when you came home, you picked up the kid, went to work, picked up the two kids, came home. Be honest with me. Did you expect her to be dead? Did you expect her to be dead? 50-50.
I really don't know.
What
You
did
didn't think she'd make it till the next night, or the next day,
No.
did you?
What did you do with the kids when you got home that day? I mean, you walk in the door,
We all went straight to the bedroom.
all three
I
of you?
kept them at the door.
Okay, you brought the
I
kids
had to
up.
take it back. I tried to distract the kids. The purposely tried to distract the kids. They would take the dog out. I went there and checked. by the time the kids came back into the house, it was on the phone 911.
Okay, so you were kind of prepared for something to happen.
Not really, but I didn't know what to expect.
Okay, so you didn't know what to expect, but yet you
I
kind of
thought
thought.
there might have been an even money chance that she was gone. And if she wasn't, I couldn't take it anymore. I was going to call somebody. Yeah, David was prepared for an ambulance coming that day.
Did you say something to David before you actually called the ambulance?
Oh, 911?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no. But we had a conversation in the car on the way home. We were going to McDonald's for dinner and decided to go home and check on Mom first. And his mom wasn't better. We were going to call the ambulance.
You and David talked about that?
Yeah.
David's how old? Back. So you're pretty 50-50 that she was alive yet? And you weren't really surprised to find her dead? You were somewhat expecting it, but maybe not 50-50.
I wasn't ready to deal with it. I just lost it at the time. But, you know, it was kind of like, I thought, you know.
So you kind of had a probability that it could have been,
It could
that
have
she
been.
could have been deceased by that time. So you felt that going into the house.
It was bad enough.
And that's why you let the one son take out the dog.
Right.
Okay, so you kind of had an idea that this could be a.
She was bad enough. I mean, she was bad enough Thursday morning that nobody should be in that condition if I go to the hospital.
Based on.
And then this was Thursday afternoon. I mean, the morning she should have
gone.
She should have gone.
There's no question about it. She should have been in the hospital.
And then later in the day, you pretty much figured 50-50. She should have went.
Exactly.
You think you would have let it go on another day?
No way.
No?
No way.
You would have called that?
Yeah. I mean, it all happened so quick. You don't have time to really think about it other than just what's the decision.
Do you believe that?
I mean, 36 hours. First she's not feeling well, then all of a sudden Thursday
She hasn't
morning.
ate all week besides, right?
Yeah, Thursday morning she can't move, and you're going, well, this is different than last night. At least she was sitting up talking lucidly, and now Thursday morning she's not even, can't even have a conversation
Do you believe based on the lack of ambulatory care that you could have provided, that you did assist her in this kind of? You know, if you would have called, she might have lived. Do you think that you actually did help this along?
I don't think so, no. I did nothing to specifically help her.
No, I'm
I'm
just saying, as far as not calling, you know, I mean, because if you called, you know.
I don't know how bad she was. I mean, in hindsight, looking back at it.
Yeah, but
Very
you just stated that, yeah, kind of.
Thursday
Had this
morning,
thought that-
yes, anybody in that kind of shape, you call. And yet she didn't want me to, so it was, I did. Again, couldn't live with that decision either. I mean, Thursday night, if she wasn't better, something had to be done.
Thursday night when you found her.
Right.
When was the last time she saw somebody besides you?
Thursday morning, the kids.
I mean, besides you and the kids. I mean, neighbors see her out, or did she go anywhere to the store all week? She was in bed from starting when?
Seen Borman.
Seen,
Borman, Tuesday.
she saw Borman Tuesday, and she was in bed that entire time?
From that evening on, I don't know what she did that day.
Okay, and she didn't eat that entire time before she saw Borman? Did she eat at all, or nothing?
Nothing.
And you didn't?
Oh, yeah, she'd be at the.
She was used?
She'd pick. I mean, she'd pick a little bit, but no real food intake. I mean, and then she'd dump in garbage.
And then,
And a lot of water.
as she was in bed from Tuesday night on, and she was very weak, not feeling good, dehydrated. You tell me, you were there. You tell me. She dehydrated or no? She drank a lot of
She
water?
drank a lot of water. I mean, that's the reason I thought she had taken something. She wouldn't tell me what it was. And I was looking, some of the stuff in there is going to be mine. Some of it, because I do recall looking up things about liver damage because of her aspirin intake.
You taking a lot of aspirin?
I'm surprised they do it, they don't show liver damage because she take 4 or 5 Tylenol, I cracked the top of her mouth and then 2 hours later doing it. And you question her mom, she said it'd be for arthritis.
What else is in there that you looked up?
That's all I can remember was just looking through some of those. So, I mean, somebody is like that,
We need to.
That was any information that was not.
Her, you think?
Yeah.
That'd be.
That's the reason I mentioned what was it, the antifreeze. I mean, he's out there reading the label, interested. You kind of going, but you know that. But how wouldn't that just eat you up if you did it?
Is what you told us the truth? Is this the truth now?
So,
Why didn't you tell me earlier? You didn't think I'd find out or what?
it's been the whole.
She wants you to say so. She wants this cleared up. You gotta rest her, like I said. You gotta put her to rest.
Things were crazy enough with her. She had enough problems in the last 7 years. It was just like spread dirty on your wife.
Is this the truth, Mark?
Some of it like
This is God honest truth?
yeah. But again, I want the kids to know that. Even takes month got sick, he watched her.
He's right.
And 36 hours went straight downhill.
I am gonna need to talk to David to verify what you told me. That's okay?
Be gentle.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I've treated you pretty fairly with that. Okay?
I'm not trying to hide anything. It's just questions.
Well, I think you were. I think you just came around to.
Didn't want.
I mean, you have a lot of important information here that would have explained all this, and we could have saved us a little bit of time here. But I think it's best you get it all out. Okay. You hungry? How about if I order us a couple burgers? Have a squad go get it.
Okay.
Well, what I want to do is get this down on paper. Okay. Write out a statement, just kind of like we've done before in the past. Okay. And you're not under arrest or anything like that. You're here voluntarily. You're free to leave at any time you want. We've talked about that, and that's been our arrangement all along, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to sit down and make out well, first we get some lunch. We'll have a hamburger. I'm hungry too. It's getting late. I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat. Let's sit down, and we'll get that down on paper. Okay? We're the side of the story. Go ahead.
If you watch somebody do this, I guess what am I guilty of?
What are you guilty of? I don't know. I really don't know, Mara. I've never had this situation come across.
Because I didn't know if she was really going there or not, I mean,
Well, when she was in the morning, when you're she's grunting and cannot speak, So, let me
she was.
let me get on the horn. Let me get a couple burgers, because that'll take a few minutes here. Let me get a couple burgers ordered up. What? Burger King, McDonald's, what's your?
Oh, anything, Paul, it doesn't make
I'm a Burger King fan, Whopper Juniors. I don't need it here. I don't need it. I can use the coupon there.
place where you go outside and have a smoke.
Yeah, why don't we go have one together? Okay, how's that sound? Yeah, I do. Okay. Then what happened?
I think it was a phone call 911.
Okay. And then the rescue squad and the police and all that came there.
Exactly.
Okay.
But her face was, she looked unmoved from where she was late morning when I left. I mean.
Let me get back here to something else, Mark. And I need you to be 100% truthful with me. this thought's crossed my mind. There's also a bruise on her buttocks, on the top half. Okay, and one theory that's come out on this is, and I'd be embarrassed to say this, I really would, okay? I mean, there's, just let me think out loud to you here, okay? You know, the medical examiner has ruled that it's an asphyxia death, that Julie was somehow, her oxygen was cut off, okay? You were the only person that we know of that was in the house. So the only person that could have caused her death would have been you, okay? Now, I'm thinking, I don't think you'd have a real motive to just go ahead and kill Julie or anything like that. One, we've talked quite a bit back and forth, and I don't think, now again, maybe something went haywire or something like that. We'll get to that in a minute. But what's I find odd is there's a bruise on her butt, and she's pushed into the pillow. Now, have you ever heard of erotic death or autoerotic death? Something like that? As an example, that would be you guys were playing around sexually. Okay, it happens all the time. We've had deaths like that. I mean, I've been to death school that's thoroughly examined where, and you mentioned that Julie was kind of in a drunk state, and she was being a little bit drunk and a little tipsy, and maybe you guys got to playing around a little bit, and things got out a little hand. I'd be afraid to say this to the police. I'd be, you've been kind of bashful about telling me some of this other sexual stuff. So I can understand why you're a little bashful. Sergeant Ransberg, I'll tell you what happened. I was home for the day at work. We were playing around a little bit. We got carried away. Nothing like that occurred. You're sure? Okay. Then how do we explain her death? You're the only one there. You were the only one there, and you leave, she's alive. You come back, she's passed away.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. Mark, there's no, you had to do something. Read this. This is a letter your wife left me and Officer Ron Cosman. It's her handwriting, right? Right? I mean, there's nobody else's handwriting there. Now, who else is there, Mark? I mean, here we got Julie Jensen. You guys weren't, that's why I keep coming back here to the sexual thing, maybe. That something was taking place there. But here we got, you leave at noon, she's alive. 4:30, she's dead. You are the only person there, okay? We've gone through that. You found nothing disturbed in the house. Her head's pushed into the pillow. There's a bruise on her buttocks. Okay? I'm thinking, maybe you guys are playing around to death, or maybe you guys had a violent argument. I don't know. I wasn't there. But there's something you had to do something. Okay? You had to have, Mark. I mean, she just didn't die naturally. We've done all the testing. It's all come back negative. The toxicology is a 0. Dr. Chambliss, right here, list of injuries that are on there. The bruises I was talking about with the with the shin. And, here's the evidence. There's also petechia in her lungs, which indicates suffocation. You get petechia when somebody's suffocated. There's 2 places you get petechia. One is in the eye and in the lungs, especially if there's pressure. Now, I'm not a doctor, not an expert on it, but you had to do something to cause her death, Mark. You're the only person that was there, and you're the only person that could have done anything.
I'm not.
Well, how can I explain this to somebody else? We have, here we got, then Julie leaves us a letter. which I believe is somewhere a week before, and, I'm not making this up, this is true evidence. And here we have Julie Jensen telling me that if she dies, you're the person that did it, okay? We have a rocky marriage, and I'm not sure whether to believe you here or not, because you kind of misled me here on some of this other stuff.
On the pictures of that?
Well, you talk a lot and you don't say anything, and I wish you'd just come out. Now, if something happened with Julie the day of the 3rd, I'm willing to work with you here. I mean, I've taken very patient, been very calm here with you, with your family, your case, and all that stuff. And we need to come up with some type of explanation here, and you're the only one that can provide that explanation. Did you guys have an argument? Were you guys playing around? I don't know what happened.
Nothing. She couldn't get out of bed that morning. I mean, I need to have it come to that. You can ask David about Mom's condition that morning. She couldn't get out of bed. He wanted to stay home because Mom was sick. We did nothing. There was a little sexual thing going on that morning. There was nothing happening. She was in bed asleep.
Did you get mad at her or something? Were you pissed off? I mean, you got mad at her before and you used the photographs around the house. I mean, did you get mad this time and, Julie, damn it, wake up or something?
Paul, the photographs I'm talking about is we have a little argument about something and I bring out the pictures that had been accumulated. But, I mean, if that makes any sense. I'm not trying to beat around the bush there, but it was, you were talking about a 5-year period of time, a lot of different things happening.
Let's get back here to Julie. I mean, here, we'll look at where you're sitting from my position here, Mark. Okay? One, we have a marriage that was not good. Okay? That was not good. I've talked to some of Julie's friends, and they said she was divorced was mentioned, some of this other stuff. You guys were not having a good marriage. Okay?
I never.
She contacts us a couple days before about this letter, and contacts Officer Cosman. We have the photographs, and she leaves us this letter. Okay? Then all of a sudden, boom, she turns up dead. Okay? You're the only one. There's no dispute about that. You're the only one there. You had to do something. I have Dr. Chambliss's report right here, which says it's basically an asphyxia death. She didn't react to the chemicals, the medication, that's all ruled out. Didn't happen. She suffocated. And the only way you can suffocate, Mark, is if you did something to her. And you had to do something. You just don't stop breathing for no reason. She's, 40, 41? A 40, 41-year-old young female does just not stop breathing. You had to do something, Mark. I wasn't there, you were. You need to tell me what happened here so I can get this matter cleared up. Be honest with me. Be straight with me, Mark. Be a man. Tell me what happened here. I need to know. What happened? Straight up. Tell me what happened. You're thinking about it, you want to tell me, Mark, tell me. What happened? Let's get this over with.
I'm trying to think, we're replaying that morning.
You had to do something.
I thought I did.
Mark, there's no question about that. You were the only one there.
I understand.
I mean, look at the evidence that's here. I went through it kind of diligently with you.
And I can't.
Tell me, what took place?
Nothing more than what I told you.
You didn't get on top of her?
No.
Why is that bruise there on her buttocks?
I never saw her fall, but she mentioned that she hit her head and fell when she got out of the bath. I mean, what day was that? Probably, it would have to have been Wednesday. It would have to have been Wednesday.
That possibly explains the bruise, but it doesn't explain why she stopped breathing. You were the only one there. Well, the evidence suggests is that there was a pillow over her head. But you recall, you saw the nose, same as I did. I got pictures of it.
Right.
Okay? You saw the nose and put a pillow over her head.
No.
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 Mark, how did she stop breathing, Mark? Be straight with me. Be honest.
When I found her,
Mark, you had to do something.
I did not know.
How can I
Honestly,
how can you
I
explain
didn't-
this?
I don't know. I
don't know.
I'm sitting a couple days. I don't
Mark,
know.
there has to be an explanation here, okay? What do you? There has to be. There has to be. I was not there. There has to be an explanation. You were the guy there.
When I left, for all I know, she was asleep. Exactly the way I found her when I got home. Her face was in the pillow. She rolled over on the pillow. If I remember correctly, her hand was underneath.
Oh.
Yeah, she was kind of, like this.
Her arm was actually here. I'll show you how she was. Okay, she's got that. Her arm is actually across her body like that. Okay, and it's an unnatural position. Do you sleep when you're on your side with your arm across like that? No. That's why I asked you if you moved it, because her arm seems to be unnatural, the way she's positioned. Okay, and her nose is crunched into the pillow, and she stopped breathing.
But her nose was crunched into the pillow, just laying there like that.
Right, the nose, and again, if you can take a look at the photos, I'll show you. Her nose, when you bring it back up, is bent, like this. I mean, there was some type of force put on there. And the only person that could have been there to commit that type of force is you. I don't know why you can't be 100% with me, Mark. You're the only person that was there. You're the only person that can answer any of these questions. Because I was not there. I don't know what happened. Okay, I have a good idea. I laid my cards out on the table here for you. Okay?
Well,
And I called you up nicely. We've been talking every week or so, keeping in touch with this. You stopped in here today to talk to me, and I'm a little stumped here for an answer, and the only one that can answer that is you. And I'm thinking, okay, Mark seems like a decent guy. There's got to be a logical explanation for this. I mean, if maybe things got out of hand, you guys had an argument. That happens. Mark, I'll work with you through it. I'm just, but no, I'm assigned this case and I want to find out what happened. And
I can't believe.
Show me different. I've been studying this and looking at this since December 3rd. And I've tried to make every effort to eliminate you. I did as much testing as could possibly be possible. Dr. Lavin and Dr. Chambliss did it. That's why it's taken so long. You've been impatient about that, I understand that. There's absolutely no way that she died from an overdose of the medication she took. We have tested everything. Now, you basically has a girlfriend at this point, the one that you were seeing before Julie. Okay? Kelly, okay? We already went through that, I understand, but you were seeing her before, okay? I have Julie leaving me. It's addressed to Ron Cosman or Detective Ratzenberg, okay? I'm sure she meant Ratzberg. I have been doing this 15 years, Mark, and I've never had anybody leave me a letter telling me that if they die, it's this person that killed me, okay? And this is the first time in 15 years, and I've done a lot of death investigations. I've never had anybody do this to me to tell me that it was you, okay? That just has not happened. And how can I explain this? You're the only one that can explain what happened to your Mark, and you need to be truthful with me. You need to tell me what happened here. Did you guys get in an argument? Did you get mad?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. You need to be truthful with me.
What date was that?
What date?
This letter.
There's not a date down here. It was given before. This is before December 3rd she wrote this. Yeah, okay. 11/21 she wrote this. She also, how about the explanation for the the stuff in your appointment book, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Mark, what happened? Mark, there's gotta be, you did something. I need to know what. Be truthful with me, Mark. You had it.
Nothing.
Then how'd she stop breathing, Mark?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
She didn't stop breathing by herself.
She was.
It doesn't happen that way.
You're telling me I took a pillow and put it over her face?
I don't know that for sure, Mark. I don't know what happened. You were there, I wasn't. I was thinking maybe you guys were playing around.
No.
That happens. That happens all too often, than you probably know. I mean, and I could understand that. Maybe something else took place and you're embarrassed to tell me about it. Maybe you guys had a discussion and, here you got a stranger coming into your life, me. I stop over at your house. I basically get everybody out of the house and we spend, a couple hours in the house gathering all this evidence. And I don't expect you to come up to me and say, Paul, this, and that happened. It's a little embarrassing. We were playing around. That's happened to me before. Hey, can I talk to you privately? That's hard to do. I'd have a hard time coming up to you if me and the wife were playing around or something, or had something like that. I'd have a hard time coming up to you and talking to you about it. I understand that, and that's why I brought that up here today. Because I want to make sure we have all the bases covered here. And you had to do something. You were there, I wasn't. I don't know what you did.
The kids were there too.
So,
Well,
they were at school, I thought. They were because you had to pick them up.
right. But they were there early in that morning. How was her breathing funny? Her breathing she was.
Yeah.
The kids. That's
The
not
kids
me.
Right, I understand.
It's not me doing that.
I checked with the medical examiner on that. No. They tell me, because there's petechia in the lungs, there was some type of force or contact made because of petechia of the lung. Remember what petechia is? Petechia, and I'm not an expert, I'm going to get this off the top of my head here, is basically little, like if you were to slam your finger in the door and you get the little purple things on here, that's what it's kind of like, almost bruising of the lungs, so to speak. Little blood clots or something like that. I could show you pictures of them, that's not necessary, but what that indicates, in fact, here, I'll show you this part, which kind of stunned me when I read it. The body shows signs of attempted medical attention. You were there. There was no medical attention given.
Right.
Okay. Well, the doctor here is a few minor blunt trauma injuries are also identified. Okay. He's assuming there's petechia of the lungs at this point, showing that there's attempted medical. Like an example, they take the tube, put it down your throat to get you breathing. That'll cause petechia of the lungs because you're actually injuring them. Okay? None of that was done. There is petechia of the lungs. There's no doubt about it. I got photos, I can show you to them. Okay? So that means that there was some type of contact in the bedroom while you were there. There's no other way. There's no other way to explain it. And the only person that was there was you. Now, I'm willing to work through this with you, but we need to find out what happened here.
Oh, I did not do anything to hurt her. I did not. There was a question between myself and the kids that morning whether or not to call an ambulance, take her to the hospital. The kids wanted to stay home. Her breathing was funny. She could hardly get out of bed. I mean, it was a god-awful situation. The bruising probably came from her getting up. I didn't hit her. She got up and she fell. She hit her head. And we were telling you that. She got to go to the gym. I don't know what happened, but anybody who is sitting there having a hard time breathing and telling you that they're okay. She was in no condition if you wanted to try to do something sexual to her.
I don't know. I would. Oh.
No,
I can't, that really takes me back because she was really having a hard time, but to think that she was really gonna, I'm gonna, that's that.
You need a soda? I do. Want a soda, cup of coffee?
Cup of coffee.
Just stay here. Let me go grab a soda and we'll come back. I'm gonna go, soda machine's down the hallway here a bit, so it'll take me a bit. Okay? Is that black, right, Mark?
That's good.
Why would she write a letter like that? That's her handwriting, right? I don't wanna,
Yeah, I mean, it sure looks like it. We had,
what I wanted to ask you too was,
for a week or two prior to, they were going to see Borma. Things were absolutely crazy. I mean, and there's 3 people in the office that will tell you if you ask them. I was in the office through September, October, November on a daily basis, upset and worried about what was going on with her. She was off the wall. I mean, you'd come home and find her in a fetal position on the bed or the couch. She was...
fetal position, meaning like all up like that? Okay.
I mean, this is all stuff you don't want to really get into. I guess,
Mark, you gotta be truthful with me here now. I mean, you know.
She was getting abusive with the kids. David had ticks. She was running them all over to docks with that kind of stuff. Everyone around the house was walking on eggs. It got to be a joke in the office that I was going to have to. I'd come in so visibly upset in the morning that people were asking what was wrong. And I don't know why she comes off this way because...
Well, she's obviously suspicious that something's gonna happen. I mean, here's your notebook. I mean, these are pictures of that. Now, this is all your handwriting, and what she's describing in here is accurate, right? I mean, what's the part about the syringe? What's that got to do with anything? You make the note of the syringe in there, like she mentions in your letter, which is in here.
That was in the lower portion. In the bedroom, there's a wet bar. Dry bar. There was a razor blade in there. There was aspirin. There was... I was seriously concerned that she was going to do something to herself.
Okay, well, explain these notes that she's talking about in here. I got this for you.
Okay.
Explain it to me. I just, there's some different notes, and I got them, try to get them in an order. But what's all that mean?
They cried when I got home, new game.
Are those notes about Julie or
Yes.
And it happened on, what date you have it on here? Monday the 23rd, which is November.
23rd.
So them are all notes about stuff that's been going on?
Right, cried when I got home, new game, going to, looks like sleep.
Well, let's go through them.
Okay. Yeah, cried when I got home, new game.
Okay, that's on the 23rd.
Right.
Okay.
Doug diaper, conference, she had a conference at GTI. She was trying to find she was going to try to go back to school.
She was out looking for a job too, wasn't she?
We were having conversations about what was going to happen when Doug went back to preschool. And it was like her life was ending. She was totally upset. She went to GTI. She had met with the counselors there. She came back and she had very little to do to finish a 2-year degree there.
For nursing?
For something, the medical thing. But she wasn't happy with that. I mean, that was on the 23rd.
But she makes mention of that in here. I guess not to go over everything in such great detail.
My sister told me that she went through here and found all this stuff.
The sister told you that Julie did?
Yeah, and she told my sister Lori about it. And Lori said, you know, she was going through her daytimer and she found all these notes and she was really upset that you were...
This is just before she passed away?
This is after the fact.
Okay.
That, you know, Julie was furious at me because I was writing this stuff down. But this is the stuff that I showed Julie the weekend before she called Borman.
You showed her this? No, she says in her letter that that's not, that she found it in there.
She found this in,
in your thing and then took pictures of it, which I have the pictures too.
Okay.
She contacted Officer Cosman and gave this to her before she died.
see, this is me making a list of things that I,
Right, she found that to be suspicious in your thing and that they're not true. I don't know what it means, but if anything happens to me, he would be my first suspect. Our relationship has deteriorated to the polite superficial. I know he's never forgiven me for the brief affair I had with that creep 7 years ago. Mark lives and works for the kids. He's an avid surfer of the net. Then I find all this stuff on here too. Now, what I don't want to have happen here, Mark, is I don't want to go through this stuff, and I can, it's all in the internet file, that there's poisoning information here, okay? She thinks you're gonna poison her, okay, from what I read on here, okay? She's suspicious of you, okay? And I'll be able to tell the time of day and when they were surfing on the net. Now, if I find it between 7 and 9 o'clock in the evening, it's gonna mean you were doing this and you weren't honest with me. So I just want you to cover this. When you told me earlier that none of this is anything of your doing with the exception, as we found out later, of the emails, you don't remember doing any of this, maybe for something else or for the kids or something like that. You know, we got something in here too as antifreeze poisoning. That's what this is. Here. What does that mean?
this was, when did I mentioned that to you last time I was here, when I winterized the pool.
Yeah, you did. I remember you saying something about
She
that.
took a big interest in the back of the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have shown up in the tax things, right?
Right, and we tested for it.
Okay.
We tested for it.
I wasn't there.
The end result is here is that she stopped breathing, not by herself. Now, I'm tending to think there was an accident here, as I indicated right off from the get-go here.
Right.
That there's some type of accident here, and you were the only one there, Mark. I mean, she just didn't stop breathing like somebody turned off a switch. Didn't happen. I covered that with the medical people up and down, left and right. That's why it's taken December, January, February, March. We're now towards the end of April. Today's the 21st. So, you know, we're talking a good 4 months of testing and interrogation. And you're the only one that can explain anything here. And I don't know what the answer is, and you do. I'm thinking there's an accident. What happened that morning? Let's go through that morning. What happened before you left?
She could hardly sit up in bed.
No, let's kind of, so I got this framed in my mind. Let's go back, we talked 6:30 in the morning?
Right.
Okay, she's not feeling well.
Right.
Okay, go from there. Let me get a feel what happened that day.
She was not able to get out of bed. I mean, she was groggy, almost incoherent. Breathing was very labored, raspy.
How was it? What do you mean, right?
She was having a hard time.
Is it, I mean, how was she?
It was a very deep breath.
Okay. Okay. And you could hear phlegm or something like that? Okay.
It sounded like the windpipe was getting restricted.
Mm-hmm.
She was hardly, I'm not even sure she was coherent.
She sat up in bed.
She sat in her bed.
Okay.
David tells me that, we talk about it, David tells me that I was holding her up, supporting her. I guess I recall that I was sitting on the bed behind her as the kids were on the bed saying, kissing her.
Good morning or whatever.
Good morning, yeah. And she was not even able to, she didn't get up to go, I should have called that morning. She was in sad shape. I mean,
What do you mean sad shape? Was she talking or
Hardly.
she was sitting up in bed, so she had some strength, she's sitting up in bed, but you guys talked that morning or what?
Right, very, very weak. No, I really had no conversation. You know, other than I think she indicated that she was okay.
Sure. And what?
But she, you know, she was not able to move around and function. She took the other sleeping pill after the kids went to school.
How many is she taking total? Is this the first one? That's the Adrian, right? So this would be her second one? She took one the night before, right? And now she's taking another.
I think this would have been the third.
Okay.
First one Wednesday morning, second one Wednesday night, third one Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, okay. As prescribed.
Right.
Okay.
And she was asleep. Well, she was on the bed, she went to sleep. I went to work, came home, and she was gone. And she hadn't moved.
Now, you were home from 7, we started at 7:30, and all of a sudden we jumped to noon, or 1 o'clock, but somewhere in that time frame. There was a lot of stuff that happened in between there.
During the morning, but she was just...
She was sleeping that whole morning?
She was asleep.
Now, when you went to work, did you wake her up and tell her you went to work?
I did not.
Okay, you just left for work. And she slept from, she got up, 7:30-ish, okay? Kids said good morning. Kids go to school?
Kids went to school. Okay. I took Doug to preschool, David got on the bus.
Okay. And then you took him the day to preschool and came back?
Right.
Okay. Then what did you do at the house during the day?
Talked to the office, so it was about it. Went around, I picked up a check from a client, if I remember correctly. Yes, I ran out for that, I came back again.
Okay. Which client did you pick up the check from?
Ed Coglin.
Who?
Ed Coglin.
Coglin?
Coglin. C-O-U-G-H-L-I-N.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't actually go back home then? You went home and then you went back out?
Right.
Okay. You called the office then on the 3rd.
Right.
Then you went to Coglin and got a check from him. Where does he live?
Down the street, past Lake Shore, past 116th.
Okay.
Social court, yeah, picked it up out of his mailbox.
Okay.
Then
He was aware of that ahead of time, left it out there for you, I would assume?
Right.
Okay, then what?
went back home,
She still sleeping?
still sleeping.
You didn't touch her?
No,
Hi, how are you? I'm home, you need something to drink, something to eat?
no.
Nothing.
I'm sure, I know I went there and checked on her.
Okay. Then what happened?
That was it. I hung around for a while and I probably got to preschool somewhere around, not real early in the morning, but it would have been 8 or 9. I got to the office somewhere around noon, lunchtime. I might have left around 11:30, somewhere there. I mean, somewhere between 11 and 12. And she was laying in bed.
And then you came home, when you stopped,
I picked up the kids.
one Southport? Or Southport is where?
Southport and
And then the daycare.
in the daycare.
Came home, by what time?
Whatever time the 911 call was, it would have been as we walked out the door.
I'm guessing around 4:30.
4:30.
And then before that, you did move her up,
I remember.
as we went through before.
Yeah, I mean,
And she fell back down.
I can't remember yet. I know I grabbed her by the shoulder, but she was dragging, her eyes were open. Not wide, but, you know, open. I can't remember. I mean, I grabbed her by the shoulder, and she was stiff. I seemed stiff. If I remember her nose.
She seemed warm or cold?
I can't recall.
Because when I was there, rigor wasn't setting in, so the time of death here is about, anywhere, to be real safe on this, 10 a.m. on. Okay, probably more closer to the 11, 12 o'clock area. And it could be back and forth. It's a hard thing to decide, and she was covered at that time. the other thing that concerns me too is, so I asked you to remove her, and I'm coming back to this again, is her arm is in an uncomfortable, odd position to be sleeping. That's another puzzling thing about this. And I don't have an answer for it.
This was the condition she was in. She lay down and
But she should flop the other way. When you said that you put her up on her side, like she's down with her nose down, like, you know, we're doing, and the way you would have done it, she should have went the other way. But backwards. You naturally, if you stay up balanced, feel yourself, you go, tendency to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And when you lifted her up, she shouldn't have went down like you said she did. She should have went backwards.
Okay. But she
And the way she was, I mean, I got pictures and all that to show you, but I don't know if we need to do that. If you want, we can go over the photographs, the way she was laying, I'll show you. I mean, I'll be, you know, again, they're Julie and her back of December 3rd. And I'll show you exactly what I mean and why, you know, something had to happen there, Mark, and I keep coming back to that. She just doesn't stop breathing by herself. That didn't happen. I talked to Dr. Chambliss, Dr. Lavin. This case was also consulted with the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office too. Dr. Lavin has checked with them, and she consulted with somebody out of the Waukesha Medical Examiner's Office. They have ruled out everything asphyxia. Dr. Chambliss's results, asphyxia.
Okay.
And the only person there is you. And something had to be done because there's petechiae of the lungs.
Okay, good.
And I'm thinking to myself, I know you guys are frustrated in your marriage. You guys had some sexual things that weren't going well. She told me that back 4 or 5 years ago. She was telling me the reason being that she's there sucking a penis in them photographs. Is that something that you and her, she had trouble doing with you? She told me that. She was completely honest with me. Okay? You guys are having trouble with your marriage. I've talked to some people, they say divorce, and you agree, there's no dispute about that. You guys had some sexual problems. Whether she wouldn't perform that type of act on you is my understanding. And to have a secure marriage, you need to have a secure sexual life. I think that's it's a pie. You got to put that all together. It has to be there. If you don't have a good sex life, you're not necessarily going to have a good marriage. Okay? You got to be willing, trusting. You guys did trust each other. I know that by this letter.
Yeah.
She didn't trust you as far as she could throw you.
I didn't trust her.
And you didn't trust her.
Right.
So now we have this marriage that is not working out well. You're frustrated with sexual things and all that. She probably is too. I don't know that. She's not here to ask. And now all of a sudden she's sick. She's burdensome. Okay? You got to run to the doctor. You got to stay home from work. She can't pick up the kids. You got to leave early to go pick up the kids. I'm thinking you guys get into an argument. She's not 100%. Okay? She's having a hard time breathing. She's labored breathing and all that. And, you know, Julie, lay down, shut up. I know there was some type of contact there. There had to be in this chest area. Mark, there's no question about that. And the only person that could have done that was you. I'm thinking before you left, you pushed on her maybe. Now, she was frail at the time. She was frail. You said she was labored breathing. That makes sense, and I believe that. Okay? I know that probably happened. But she's frail. And you just innocently, I don't want to, but you pushed her like that. And could that have caused something? I mean, we have petechiae of the lungs. There's some type of contact here in the throat. There's also that indication on the throat, as I showed you in Dr. Chambliss's report. It just did not appear there. Something and somebody had to touch her. That's the only way it could get there. There is no doubt about that. And did you push her, touch her on the throat maybe like this?
I moved